District Board of Directors to order at 5:30-ish. Will the clerk please call the roll? Good timing.
Director Budge.
I'm here too.
Director Budge is here. Director Harris.
I'm here.
Director Howell is absent. Director Hume.
Woof, woof, woof.
Director Jennings.
I am here.
And Director Natoli. I don't see him. He's absent. Director Chenier.
Here.
Director Cerna.
Here.
Director Valenzuela.
Here.
Chair Miller is absent, and Vice Chair Kennedy.
Here. Okay, we have established a quorum. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. With that, we will move to our consent calendar, items 2.1 through 2.11. Is there any?
Director Vice Chair Kennedy, can I go back and just read the statement with the web information
sure.
to connect in the?
Sure.
Okay. So this is a virtual meeting. All speakers, the board and the staff, if you could please announce your name when you begin to speak. This meeting is being live streamed. On the slide on the screen shows the information on how to join the webinar via Zoom. You can also call into the meeting at 253-215-8782, and the webinar access code is 874-9924-4399. And if you're participating by phone, please push *9 to indicate a desire to comment. And if you're joining online through Zoom, please push the raise hand button. Be sure to unmute yourself when it is your turn to speak and voluntarily state your name for the record. And this meeting of the Sacramento Regional Transit District will be cablecast on Metro 14, the local government affairs channel on Comcast, Consolidated Communications, and AT&T Uverse. Today's meeting will air on Thursday, September 15th at 9 a.m. and Friday, September 16th at 2 p.m. on Channel 14 and webcast at metro14live.saccounty.net and is closed captioned. This meeting can also be viewed at youtube.com/MetroCable14.
Thank you very much. And with that, we will go on to item 2, the consent calendar, where we have 2.1 through 2.11. Are there any members of the board that have any questions of anything on consent or like to discuss anything on consent?
Chair, just a brief comment on 2.7.
Okay.
Go ahead now.
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is a contract to give Four Leaf a construction management position on the light rail station at Dos Rios, which is, of course, in District 3. It's a project we've been waiting for a long time. I think it'll be really good. I just wanted to point out that the city hired Four Leaf to work on the McKinley Vault project, and they performed admirably. I think that this will be a great selection, and I look forward to this moving along. And with that, Chair, I'll move consent.
Second. I will
Okay.
second.
Okay, we have a motion by Director Harris, a second by Director Budge. Is there any public comment? I take it no public comment. Okay, please call the roll.
All right, Director Budge,
Yes.
Director Harris,
Aye.
Director Howell is absent, Director Hume. Director Hume,
Aye.
Director Jennings,
Yes.
Director Kennedy, Director Natoli,
Aye.
Director Chenier,
Aye.
Director Cerna,
Aye.
Director Valenzuela.
Yes.
Chair Miller is absent, and Vice Chair Kennedy.
Aye. Unanimous vote. Thank you very much. Thank you, Director Harris. We will move now to item 6. Is there any members of the public that would like to address the board on matters that are not on the agenda? Do we have any correspondence, Tabitha?
I do. I have one written email and I have a couple hands up as well.
Okay. Take it away.
Do you want me to read the email one first?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
This is from Kay Crum. My name is Kay Crum and I am an avid transit rider. For the past 15 years, I've relied on the bus and light rail for my main source of transportation. And even though there are several obstacles involved with the transportation mode, mainly reliability and frequency, this service is vital for the community. This is why I believe we need to increase our light rail coverage and remove unnecessary stops on the Gold Line. We need to expand light rail cover to go to locations that are desirable. The light rail is frequent and reliable and would improve ridership compared to bus lines. One instance is with bus 51, which is the most used bus line. There are plans to create a bus line for 51 on Stockton Boulevard in the new Stockton Boulevard plan, but it should be a light rail line since it is near so many homes and shops. Stockton Boulevard goes through the heart of the city, Aggie Square, and many vital shops and services. On the Gold Line stops such as Tiber, Starfire, and Cordova Town Center have low ridership and should either be eliminated or removed to create express service lines. The light rail should cover more areas. In comparison, Portland's light rail also started in 1986, covers a similar area, and they have a similar tax rate to cover services. Even so, they have significantly more coverage. She provided a link to Portland's light rail map and stated to please consider these improvements and thank you for your time. And staff will be reaching out to Kay Crum.
Thank you. Can you identify those with their hands up, please?
So we have Glenn Mandelkorn.
Glenn, welcome. Glenn, there you go.
Yes. All right. So my comment today is about the recently held bus stop improvement project. There's going to be a series of these. I went to the first one, which was held September 1st. And I would like to say that I recommend these highly to riders and to other people who are involved with transit in order to find out what it takes to make a fully functioning, complete, safe, and attractive bus stop. These meetings were put on by the SACRT Planning Department and also the Civic Thread organization, where they had 2 people who have done a lot of research. They actually showed us about 9 different characteristics that they look at to determine how fully functional a bus stop is. And also there were Director of Marketing Jessica Gonzalez and her street team. It was a very interactive format. One thing, probably the one aspect I found most interesting were some community members who expressed a little bit of hesitation in wanting to take the bus because of how they found certain bus stops relevant concern was adequate shade. They spoke about how some of the seating are these metal benches, and they get much hotter than 114 degrees, especially when there's no shade around. So like I said, I would definitely encourage a variety of people to attend these. Definitely the riders, existing riders, potential riders. I would also say anyone who's linked to a specific geographic area, part of the region, I think this could also be a very good form of community outreach. So thank you.
Thank you. Next caller.
Next, we have Megan Calloway.
Welcome, Megan. Megan, are you there?
It looks like she has permission to speak.
She muted?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
Welcome.
great. Thank you so much. Okay, so my name is Megan Calloway. I've been a Sacramento resident for almost 4 years. I prepared something that I'd like to read to the board. I own a home on Freeport Boulevard. I'm joined by other neighbors who own homes on Freeport Boulevard. Our homes border the light rail at Broadway Station. Living directly behind a train station comes with its occasional challenges, but the disruption to the residents on Freeport Boulevard has not only increased dramatically in number, but also in severity. Just in the last few weeks, I've had to call law enforcement on 2 separate and very frightening occasions. The first incident was on Saturday, August 27th. I was forced to call law enforcement when a man at the train station screamed threats and vulgarities to myself and my partner for talking in my backyard during dinner time. We were told to shut the F up and that he would kill us if we didn't stop talking to one another. I was called a number of vulgar profanities and he began throwing glass at my house. I was forced to go inside and not enjoy the use of my own backyard because of the threats of violence of this individual. This person continued to scream and throw glass for approximately 40 minutes without intervention from regional transit police. He stopped only after I called Sacramento Police Department and they were able to make contact with this deranged and violent individual. The second occasion was on Wednesday, August 31st at approximately 10:30 p.m. I was in bed when I heard noises at my side gate. I opened my window shades and saw 3 individuals trying to open my gate and enter my backyard. I yelled for them to stop and asked what they were doing. The individuals asked that I leave my locked home and go into the backyard to retrieve a backpack they threw over the fence from the light rail station. I did not feel safe leaving my house and called law enforcement. One of the individuals proceeded to scream profanities at me and grab a large, hard object and attempt to break my window with several blows to the glass. A backpack was found in my backyard, which has been thrown over the fence from the light rail station. I have felt increasingly unsafe living in close proximity to the light rail station. During the day, I can hear consistent monitoring from the light rail staff. I've heard individuals being reprimanded from everything from sleeping to smoking to loitering. I asked the board, why is the same vigilance over conduct not exercised at night? Why are individuals allowed to throw glass and threaten residents for having dinner in their backyard without intervention? The backpack is not the first item I have had hurled into my backyard by light rail riders. I have found miscellaneous trash, including glass bottles, and even a dirty baby diaper discarded in my yard like a dumping ground. I'm here today to request the board take action to protect the safety and property of the residents surrounding the light rail. I'm asking the board monitor the light rail property consistently 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm requesting a text alert system be put in place so that neighbors can be informed when there's police response at the Broadway station. And lastly, I'm requesting that individuals be deterred from throwing objects into the yards of residents. That can be higher fences blocking residents from the train station, more trash can access for riders, signs that indicate throwing items into the yards of neighbors is a violation of law under Penal Code Section 374, and violators will be prosecuted, fined, and removed for the premises. I ask that the board prioritize the safety of the residents and implement these measures as soon as possible. I appreciate the board's time and attention. I'm happy to answer any questions or give any additional information.
Thank you, Megan. We do have a board member with his hand up, and before I go to Supervisor Director Cerna, I just want to point out to you, I don't know whether you're aware or not, but first of all, we take your comments very seriously, but we can't do a lot of discussion on this item tonight during the meeting because it's not on the agenda and it's a Brown Act issue. But with that, I'll go to Supervisor Cerna.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, Henry, I'm glad that you're able to join us and be able to hear, as we just did, the account that that young woman just described, which is obviously very, very concerning. So I know we can't take a lot of very specific action tonight, but as you've done plenty of times in the past, I would like to have your direct involvement and follow through to see what we can do through regional transit's security and police activities to make that part of our light rail line much safer than it is now. Obviously, it needs to be improved. It's really got to be a collective effort along with Sac City PD, but that's very, very concerning to hear some of what she described.
Yes, we'll be on this ASAP.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Stern. Any other comments?
We have Lauren O.
Welcome, Lauren.
Hi, thank you. I am as well a resident on Freeport Boulevard. And while Megan said very eloquently exactly what all of the majority of us neighbors that bump our wall shares with the light rail, security and safety really need drastic improvements. I've lived on Freeport Boulevard for about 6 years now, and it just continues to get worse and worse. And this was a very frightening experience for Megan, and I'm 2 houses down. And very clearly, the individuals have been going from backyard to backyard, starting from the light rail. Multiple occasions, I've had people climbing the light rail platform, I guess scaffolding for the lack of complete knowledge of what they're climbing, and try to jump in my backyard and, probably have done so without my knowledge on multiple occasions. And while I appreciate the coverage that you guys have over the light rail during working hours, there just needs to be more for the neighbors of the light rail. There needs to be more done in non-working hours to keep to maintain the safety, or at least enhance the safety at the very least of the light rail's neighbors. So thank you, Megan, for speaking, for all of us. But we need more from you. It's getting really bad. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Lauren. And as was stated earlier, the general manager, Mr. Lee, will personally be looking into the situation. And we sincerely appreciate you bringing it to our attention and taking the time to be here tonight. So thank you very much. Any others?
There are no more hands up.
Okay, then we will go to item number 7. The clerk, please read item number 7.
7.1 Resolution 2022-08097, declaring the damaged electrical service at 7th and Capitol an emergency. And please note this resolution does require a 4/5 vote, and Laura Ham is here to present this item.
Thank you. Director Valenzuela, you have your hand up. Would you like to say something or ask now or after the presentation?
After is fine. Thank you, Supervisor.
Okay.
This will be brief. Good evening, Vice Chair Kennedy and directors and members of the public. As Tabitha stated, we're here to talk to you about declaring an emergency at the 7th and Capitol Light Rail Station. We have confirmed that the damage is related to broken conduit under 7th Street that over time has caused the wire powering the entire station to fail. When the power failed initially in December, a generator was placed at the station to provide temporary lighting, and quotes were obtained for repair. We attempted a repair that was under the $5,000 Public Works limitation for a formal invitation to bid. However, that was unsuccessful, but it did confirm the nature of the issue. We went through the bidding process twice with unsuccessful results. Based on feedback from potential bidders, we believe the bidding process was unsuccessful because it was difficult for bidders to provide a firm fixed price due to the unknown extent of the damage and the need to coordinate to perform work in the city right away. We've been using an on-site generator since the loss of power, and we've replaced the generator multiple times due to mechanical failure and theft. That generator powers only the lights at the station. It's not supporting fare vending machines or other equipment. So due to several attempts for solicitation, the continued need to replace generators to provide even limited service at the station, and the urgent need to restore full and reliable electrical service, staff recommends that the board declare the electrical damage an emergency and authorize the suspension of competitive bidding for a contract of up to $85,000 under the general manager's authority.
Thank you, Director Valenzuela.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to applaud the staff for bringing this forward. Just like with the last public comment, when this happened, staff really jumped in with both feet. We had a lot of issues with restaurants nearby who were attempting al-fresco dining, who then had a diesel generator right next door, which you can imagine didn't go super well. And we got a lot of calls. And I know they've been doing their best over the last few months, but this is a really urgent issue. And I'm really supportive of the solution and want to thank staff for, as usual, being proactive with addressing constituent issues while we work out the solution. So I'm excited to move this item and see this repair finally happen. And thanks again, Henry and team, and Laura for all of your work on this.
Second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor by Director Valenzuela and a second by Director Budge. Is there any other board member that has any questions or comments? Is there any public comment on this, Clerk?
I don't see any hands raised.
Okay, then please call the roll.
Director Budge,
Yes.
Director Harris,
Aye.
Director Howell, absent. Director Hume,
Aye.
Director Jennings,
Yes.
Director Natoli,
Aye.
Director Shadir,
Aye.
Director Cerna,
Aye.
Director Valenzuela,
Yes.
Chair Miller is absent, and Vice Chair Kennedy.
Aye.
Resolution passes with 9 votes.
Thank you. Item 8.1, General Manager's Report. Mr. Lee.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, Vice Chair Kennedy, members of the board, and the public. Let me begin by thanking the SACRT team, especially our light rail maintenance workers, for working tirelessly around the clock last week when our region experienced a record heat wave. With temperatures averaging 110 to 116 degrees for several days in a row, the unprecedented heat wave had a major impact on our light rail trains and infrastructures. We quickly implemented our emergency response plan to minimize and address any service disruptions. All trains operated with speed restrictions to help conserve power consumption and reduce stress on our tracks and overhead wires. SACRT also partnered with Sac County OES to offer system-wide free rides on all services to ensure our region's most vulnerable populations were able to get to and from cooling centers last week. Next slide, please. I would like to remind everyone that SACRT is continuously recruiting for a variety of positions. We're hosting several in-person hiring events every month for all open SACRT positions. SACRT offers an extremely generous and competitive benefits package for medical, dental, paid sick leave, retirement, and tuition reimbursement, and also a $2,000 signing bonus for bus drivers. The events are being held at SACRT admin building or various community centers. Next 2 events will be on Tuesday, September 20th and Wednesday, September 28th. Next slide. We know hosting in-person hiring events are a very effective way to recruit and quickly hire employees. Just last month, SACRT hosted a Paratransit operator hiring event with fantastic results. There were about 101 attendees at the event, and 45 on-the-spot conditional offers were extended to applicants. That's almost 50% conditional offers we extended. In addition, but certainly we hope, after training, after, other, background check, we can get half of this 45 or just 1/3 of this 45 conditional offers eventually on board. we are 100% staffed for paratransit operator positions. That is truly wonderful. So in addition, Sacramento HR staff attended the Multicultural Business and Career Expo. The event targets hard-to-reach multicultural markets, including Slavic, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, and African American consumers. Sacramento will continue to look for creative ways to fill our vacancies, especially as ridership increases. Then next slide. Earlier tonight, the board just approved the sponsored program to operate free rides on Sacramento Smart Ride in North Natomas this upcoming October as part of Clean Air Month. Last year, the Fare-Free Month generated 1,900 boardings within the zone from the Smart Ride program. That this time it's up over 30% from the average month, and we anticipate this number will continue to increase. I want to thank the Natomas Jibe and the staff, including outgoing our great friend CEO Becky Hayaki and newly appointed incoming CEO Melissa Main for providing funding to make this promotion a reality. Then additionally, as part of Clean Air Month, Sacramento will be an active participant in California's 5th annual Clean Air Day celebration on Wednesday, October 5th. California Clean Air Day is built on the idea that shared experience unite people to act and to improve our community health. In that spirit, Sacramento has partnered with the Coalition for Clean Air to provide free rides system-wide to help encourage residents to reduce their carbon footprint. I encourage everyone to take the Clean Air Day pledge, visit the Clean Air website to sign up, and for information on Clean Air free ride days, please visit Sacramento's website. The next slide is about the Chalk It Up Festival. It's a kind of like an interesting name. Over the Labor Day weekend, we were excited to participate in the 32nd annual Chalk It Up Festival. The Chalk It Up Festival is a great Sacramento tradition featuring amazing and creative artwork, including chalk art that promoted taking transit. I'm also very pleased to announce that our sponsored Square 104 art piece won the first place People's Choice Award for Best Art, which was designed by chalk artist Nestor Mendoza. Sacramento's street team was out at the event engaging with spectators, many who traveled to the event with Sacramento free ride flyer. Then next slide. With the Sacramento region experiencing a significant uptick in the events, Sacramento's street team has been very busy out in the community. Over the Labor Day weekend, we also partnered with the city of Elk Grove to add supplemental bus service to increase service frequency on Route E110 to serve the popular Elk Grove Multicultural Festival on August 27th. This year, the venue moved to a new location at District 56 with very limited parking, so bus usage was highly encouraged. And looking ahead, there are a number of other fun community events that I hope everyone will ride Sacramento to and from. On Sunday, September 18th, the Franklin Boulevard Partnership will host the Back to the Boulevard event in celebration of Mexican Independence Day, Sac County will be providing supplemental bus service from our Sac City College Library Station and free rides to the event. On Friday, September 23rd and Saturday, September 24th, the Farmer to Folk Street Festival will be held on Capitol Mall. The event is conveniently located just steps away from Sac County's downtown library stations and bus stops. And to wrap up the month of September, Sac County is excited to provide free rides on September 5th to celebrate the city of Central High's 25th anniversary. Sunday Fun Day is Central High's premier family and community event that includes live music, food trucks, and much more. Sac County's Smart Ride bus will also be on display to help educate riders about the microtransit service. Then next slide is about rebranding efforts. Speaking about our tremendous community engagement, next week, Sac County will start seeking public input on a new brand identity. As we get ready to celebrate Sac County's 50 anniversary, 50 years anniversary, and the delivery of new low-floor vehicles next year. We actually start in 2 months to get the new vehicles. We're looking to increase our visibility by helping our riders and community members better identify our vehicles and all of our services we provide. This visual overhaul is expected to take place during later this year into middle next year. During the project period, the Sac County team will be doing a lot of outreach, seeking input from riders and non-riders. Starting tomorrow, please check the project webpage at saccounty.com rebranding to find a link to the online survey and general project update. Then next exciting update is about our library press conference. I want to share a few photos from our recent press conference celebrating the launch of Sac County's rolling library train. And I want to thank Chair Miller, Vice Chair Kennedy, Director Burns Warner, and the attorney for joining us at the event. And we actually had 5 Sac County Library Board members attending. In partnership with the Sacramento Public Library, we had reimagined the exterior and the interior of a library train to take riders on a literature adventure to promote our region's library service. The interior design shows rows and rows of books or on shelves, and hidden inside those bookshelves are dotted with hidden QR codes. Riders can find a code, scan it with their smartphone camera, and then instantly download a free ebook, an audiobook, or even a movie to watch as they ride. The rolling library includes far more than just the books, offering information on the library system, including courses for high school diplomas, job training, or reserving items from the Library of Fans program. Hopefully by now, you have seen the rolling library traveling throughout our 43 miles of library tracks in the region. If not, the schedule is online and it will be traveling throughout our system for the next whole year. So in closing my remarks, I would like to remind the public that Rail Safety Week takes place this month from September 19th through September 25th. Sac County joined forces with Operation Lifesaver, Inc. to help prevent tragedies around railroad tracks and trains. The annual week-long event concentrates on public attention on the need for rail safety education and saves lives by educating and empowering the public to make safer decisions around our tracks and trains. As part of a Rail Safety Week, SACRT created new videos as well as social media posts to raise awareness about track safety. Then this concludes my update. Thanks. Get back to you, Mr. Chair.
You're muted.
Thank you. Before we go to the board and the public, I wanted to say if Megan Calloway, if you are still on the line, if you're still watching and listening, if you could send your contact information to board comments at sacrt.com. That's board comments at sacrt.com. We have staff who would like to have an opportunity to speak with you personally. And with that, Director Valenzuela.
Thank you. Thank you for that important announcement. I want to thank Henry for his update, and in particular note the bus access to cooling centers during the heat wave. I think that's a really great practice. I did want to say that I got a few comments from advocates who were concerned that people need to show a flyer to take to the bus to the cooling center. And we're hoping that we would consider just allowing people to get on the bus or light rail if they say they're going to a cooling center. I know it creates a little flexibility, but it might also create barriers to ask them to have something on their smartphone, especially when it's so hot, and they might not be able to access a place to print that out or to charge their phone. So that was my only comment on that, but I really want to applaud RT for stepping up in that way for the cooling centers. I know it makes a big difference. And also to applaud the library train, because that was really cool. And I know you can see it if you haven't been on it yet as a board member. They even have stuff in different languages and there are all these QR codes that you can scan. And I just think it's a really cool model and idea for how we can use our trains for multiple purposes, and would love to see us explore more things like that in the future, because that was really, really neat to see. So applaud the staff for that partnership. That was really cool. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any other board members? Seeing no hands, is there any member of the public, Tabitha?
I don't see any hands up.
Okay, then we will move to reports, ideas, and questions from directors. Any? All right, then would the clerk please read into the record our closed session items before we recess to closed session?
So we have item 13.1, conference with legal counsel pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, existing litigation. A, Javier Carrillo versus SACRT, case number 34201800225496. And B, Lafayette Underwood versus SACRT, case number 34201900269152. And 13.2, conference with legal counsel pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, existing litigation. Tariq Castillo versus SACRT, case number 342018-002-35414.
All right, is there any members of the public that have any questions?
Excuse me, Tabitha and Vice Chair Miller, just a Vice Chair Kennedy, a correction on item 13.1. It's a different item, which is the conference with labor negotiator for ATU.
I'm sorry, you're right. Let me read. I'm sorry. 13.1 is conference with labor negotiator pursuant to section 54957.6, district negotiator David Topaz, and employee organization is ATU.
Thank you for that, Shelley. I thought I was working off of an old agenda.
I did the same thing, Patrick.
Yeah. Okay. So if we have no members of the public that have any questions or comments at this time, we will recess to closed session. You should have the link with the original invitation on your calendars. Is that correct, Tabitha?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'll see you all on the other side.
All right. Thank you.